Hey, what's up you beautiful feckers? How you all doing? So, DevStream 114 was last night, and as usual we got a glimpse at some of the up and coming changes that are going to appear in Warframe. Changes like the Corpus tileset rework, Melee 3.0, it was shown off as well a little bit more in depth. Energy and health pizzas are going to be getting a visual revamp. There's more info we got on the Revenant frame Vlad, and another look at that Boobin Deluxe and his charged balls. Now, something they quickly mentioned and moved on really quickly from was that Nyx will be getting a rework very soon as well, which is something I think a lot of players will be really glad to hear. Ever since Vlad got announced and we seen what his abilities were, the player base of Warframe kind of already buried Nyx and paid their respects. It was basically ripped Nyx everywhere. So this will hopefully freshen Nyx up a little bit, hopefully, fingers crossed. Now, the changes mentioned for Nyx were as follows. Mind Control will now allow you to buff that target's overall damage. Her Psychic Bolts will possibly be removed, which isn't a bad thing because it's one of the worst abilities in the game right now, with Chaos then being moved to where Psychic Bolts was and a new ability being put in place of her number 3. Now, her new ability could possibly be a debuff ability of some kind. They didn't exactly go into any great detail, and her ultimate bubble ability will now have new math added to it, so quick math. Now, once this new math doesn't actually change her tanky bubble build, then it should be alright. Right? I mean, it should be fine. Everything will be fine. So for a long time now, Nyx has been overshadowed by Loki. And like I said, with Vlad being announced, it felt like she was being pushed even further into the shadows. I mean, why would you bring a Nyx when you could bring a Loki and eventually bring a Vlad instead? Both of which seem to have better kind of crowd control abilities. But with these changes, it might have more of the community actually playing Nyx again. Let me know what you thought of what they quickly mentioned. Like I said, they didn't go into a whole lot of detail. They kind of just quickly glossed over it and moved on. Now, Melee 3.0 is about 50% done according to the developers, and it is what we spoke about in my video last week, but it looks really, really good, so I'm not as skeptical as I was before. It seems that it's got fast, fluid attacks combined with gap closers and heavy hitting slams, and of course those charged strikes as well. Now, each weapon stance they showed off last night looked unique with its attacks, and they've said that the melee combos you're going to be able to get or chain together will be a lot easier to memorize as well. Now, they answered a lot of the issues I think that we were asking about, with the exception of a few that they might put in a dev workshop post on the forums in the next week or so. Now, they didn't mention how combo mods like Blood Rush, Weeping Wounds, and even mods like Maiming Strike will function with this new melee system, but they did say that all of these mods will carry over to the new system and function in a different way, so they should all be fine. Normal melee attacks with Melee 3.0 of course will build up your combo counter really fast, and apparently the charged attacks then will consume all of that combo meter and deal large amounts of damage. Now, your normal melee attacks have had their damage or their base damage increased exponentially, so they should hit a lot harder than they do now to allow for that loss of that combo multiplier. Channeling of course is gone, we know that, but mods like Lifestrike and so on will apparently also be shifted off channeling and onto something else, so that they will still work and still be an option for you to run with. Maybe they'll stick them onto charged attacks, who knows. So hopefully a dev workshop, if it gets put up, will answer some of these questions that are still kind of lingering over Melee 3.0. Now, they gave us a good look at some of the attacks and new combos that you're going to be able to achieve depending on what way you choose to enter that combat, attacking from a block or moving forward and attacking and so on. You're also going to be able to sidestep instead of rolling if you choose to, and depending on your weapon's stance you will be able to close the gap in different animations and combo sets as well, which all look really, really interesting. Now, normal slam attacks will still be usable, so the slam attacks we have in game right now you're still going to be able to use once you use your normal melee attack when you're airborne, but if you choose to use one of the new heavy attacks while you're airborne, then you're going to be able to direct that slam attack, and of course it's going to consume your combo multiplier and deal a lot more damage as well. So Melee 3.0 looks pretty damn good. Like I said, we'll know more once we actually get more info on what they're going to do with Lifestrike, Blood Rush, Weeping Wounds and so on, but this is a new system that hasn't been added to the game yet, so there's no point in freaking out until we actually get hands-on and get to test it ourselves. And with previous new systems being added into the game, or reworked systems, the Warframe community has always, and I mean always, found the go-to powerful builds, and I'm in no doubt that they will do the exact same with Melee 3.0. Now, we've seen a bit more of the Revenant Warframe Vlad. His ultimate has a new animation, and when you kill your thralls or your minions, now they will drop cores that give you a little bit of overshield. His Reeve ability, which is that kind of fog ability where he can move through enemies and steal health and shield, it can now be held down for a longer duration to keep you in that Reeve, or you can choose to cancel it whenever you want. Now, he does look pretty far into development, so maybe we'll get our hands on him pretty soon as well. Fingers crossed. Now, the last thing I wanted to go over was the changes to some of the Corpus tileset and how open they're going to look now, with a lot of space involved. It seems that the Corpus have now put profit before maintenance of their ships, walkways falling to pieces, stairways falling to pieces as well, and consoles that you may need to interact with left floating out in the middle of nowhere. So parkour is going to play a huge part on some of the Corpus tilesets. Wall running apparently is also being looked at, so it's not so much of a hop on the wall as it is right now, and it might go back to the old running on the wall animation that we used to have. Now, the Corpus tileset definitely looks a lot more enjoyable, but let me know in the comment section below what you thought of it. Now, there were a few more bits and pieces being shown off on the dev stream, of course, like featured dojos and things like that, and if you want to go and check them all out, I have got the link to the full Warframe dev stream in this video's description. I'm sure there's going to be a timestamp guy in the comment section somewhere who will direct you to the bit of the dev stream that you want to see. Now, let me know in the comment section below what you think of Melee 3.0, and of course of the news of Nyx getting a rework, of what you thought of Vlad, and so on. Do me a huge favour, hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, or don't if you didn't. Subscribe for more Warframe, and as always, thanks very much for watching.
If you can't even spot it, yeah, there's nothing more to say, boy, just a left, don't come find me.